My fellow Liberians, despite our diversity, we are a united people, a great and noble people. Through the strength of our unity and the resilience of our determination, we have begun to rebuild a ravished country and have survived 2 deadly health crises. Our people have stood together as one united people, ready to face the future. Whether you are a fisherman of Grand Cru and Sino, the hunters of Grand Jide and River G, the farmers of Lofa and Bapolu, the Gola and Vai dancers of Bumi and Cape Mount, the hospitable people of Bassa and River Ses, the warriors of Maryland, the miners and explorers of Nimba, the merchants and traders of Bong, the welcoming people of Magibi, or the melting pot of Montserrado. We are one people, Liberians. We have a great challenge and opportunity ahead of us. In unity, we will rebuild this country as a shining example in Africa, demonstrating the power of a determined and united people. Our economy and our national budget will expand and grow like never before. We will improve the lives of our people and put smiles on the faces of our citizens. I promise you that together we can and will do the job. A new day is on the horizon. The time for babysitting is over. God bless you and God bless Liberia.
Alexander coming Zabam. Keep on the explode. The leaders I love, the leaders I love, the ones I trust so much, they made a fool out of me. I've been praying to God every day, please give me a leader.
The oldest republic in Africa. And yet, we're one of the least developed countries on the continent, and indeed one of the least developed countries in the world. And I say to you, my fellow Liberians, we deserve a better Liberia. We need to ask ourselves some fundamental questions. Why are we where we are? Most Liberian homes don't have electricity. Most Liberian homes don't have running water. Most Liberians are unemployed. These are things we can change. These are things we should demand of ourselves and of our leaders. We, as Liberians, cannot keep doing the same things and expect different results. We cannot keep electing and selecting the same kinds of leaders with the same kinds of experiences and expect Liberia to change. We have to do many things differently, and that starts with selecting and electing new leaders who know how to create jobs, who know how to grow the economy, who will prioritize the Liberian people first before they prioritize themselves. And this is what I offer you, the Liberian people. The other universal truth that I want to share with you, my fellow Liberians, is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And again, I ask you to look at my record of job creation, of success, of managing large budgets without one penny going missing. All of these things you can look at and compare to the other candidates. And again, you will see that my past performance and past behavior is a good predictor, a good indicator that what I commit to, we will deliver. There are 5 priorities we have, and we call that the what's. And then there are 5 things we call the how we'll do it. And those priorities are as follows. Our first priority is infrastructure. Simply put, is electricity, its roads, its water, and its internet and cell phone connectivity across Liberia. We have to invest in infrastructure. That is the top priority. That's the basis on which we can and will do everything else. The second priority for us is job creation. There are too many unemployed, underemployed, and unemployable Liberians. The unemployment rate is over 85%. And therefore, job creation is our next priority, creating jobs for the Liberian people. Our next priority is agriculture. We are a country that do not fear ourselves. These are things we can do for ourselves. We should be producing rice to feed ourselves. And my commitment is that by the end of my first term in office, we will be self-sufficient in rice production. And within education, we're focused on vocational training, teachers training, and adult education. But we have to educate our young people because, again, that's how we can help them create jobs. That's how we can train farmers. And so these things are all linked together. And our final priority in terms of the what's is health. Because you can have good infrastructure, you can have a good job, you can feed yourself, you can have great education, but if you don't have your health, it doesn't matter. And so health is our fifth priority, and there we're focused on primary health care and preventive health care. So those are the what's we'll do for our people, for the Liberian people. How are we going to do these things? The first how is we want to engage Liberians differently in the transformation of our country. We call this hearts and minds. How do we get all Liberians to participate in the changes that are required? We're going to use arts and music and culture and reconciliation and religion. All of these things, we will be deliberate in using these things to engage us as a people in this transformation process. And so we're doing some work on how we can make those things happen. The next how is that we're going to find the money. We have to find the resources, the money, to do all of the what's I mentioned earlier. And the way we'll find the money is first we'll go after waste in government. You know, we spend a lot of money on things that we don't need, or we pay too much for things that we do need. So for example, I believe the vehicles we buy for our government officials, we spend too much money on that. We should reduce the number of vehicles, and we should buy less expensive vehicles for our government officials. We need to reduce how much they make so we can pay teachers and civil servants and police officers and the military officers and healthcare workers, people who actually do the work. We need to pay them more money and reduce the gap between those at the top and those who actually do the work. The other way we'll find the money is going after these things called corruption. You know, corruption has been the bane of our country. Is the primary reason why we are as underdeveloped as we are today. And we will aggressively go after corruption. The first thing we'll do is we will appoint a corruption czar, a minister in charge of corruption in the presidency that will coordinate all of the agencies that are meant to find corrupt officials. Secondly thing we'll do is we'll make sure we are giving the resources, the money, the right people, the right logistics to the anti-corruption agencies, the LACC, Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the General Accounting Office, the Public Procurement and Concessions Commission. We will make sure they got the right resources to go after corrupt officials. After that, when we find people who are corrupt, we will prosecute them, we will put them in jail, and we'll seize their assets. It will not be good enough for you just to resign. Okay. So those are the things we will do to really go after corruption. I have committed that I will not take a salary. The salary that is paid the president, I will allocate it towards helping to fight corruption. That's how important I think it is to us. And then the other way we'll find the money is we'll make sure we're getting full value, the full monies we're due from our natural resources. We'll look to exploit other natural resources so we can get the funds required to fund healthcare, to fund infrastructure, to create jobs, etc., etc. So finding the money is the second how. The next how is we want to create a government of inclusion. We want all sections of our country to be represented in the government. We want opposition political parties to be in government, because we believe that having a government inclusion will help all of us make the right decisions. It will make sure that we're spreading the resources of our country across the entire country. And then the last two hows, one is growing the private sector. We will focus on growing the private sector so Liberians can primarily benefit from that growth. No longer should Liberian business people be spectators to our economy. And we want to actively support Liberianization and encourage and provide credit and other facilities to Liberian businesses so they can participate. And last but not least, we will use technology. We'll leverage technology to help us achieve our goals. So those are the what's and the hows. But let me end by leaving you again with these two universal truths. One is we cannot keep doing the same things, my people, and expect different results. We cannot keep electing the same people with the same experiences and expect Liberia to change. We need to elect and select different people to lead us, to serve us, to help us manage and run our country. And the other universal truth is the best predictor of future performance and future behavior is past performance and past behavior. And on those two counts, I believe I stand head and shoulders above the other candidates aspiring. Together, we will change Liberia for the benefit of all Liberians. We will transform our country. We will give us a new start, a fresh start, so that all of us can benefit from this country we love. I thank you. God bless you. God bless the Republic of Liberia.
Chicken necro for day.
Okay, thank you very much for tuning in, and let me make sure I get my audio correct. Okay, now I was on this morning. Good, thanks for the thumbs up. I was on this evening. I know you guys heard the news, but I want to say this to people. Somebody asked me the other today, Munel, we called you, we check on you. Oh, they dropped the case out. Yes. I don't need to be rejoicing. I don't need to jump all over the place. Share this video, please. Share it. What we've been waiting for, it has happened. It's upon Mr. Cummings himself. If he wants to take action, it's up to him. But I believe that we got a lot of work to do. I want to encourage member of ANC and friends of Cummings or whosoever. We're not backing down. We're not going to stop what we're doing. We're not afraid. No. What we need to do is to sell the agenda of Cummings. We will compare Mr. Cummings' agenda with the other people. We must talk to our people back. The guys from the other side will continue to insult Mr. Cummings, which they still doing. They will never believe anything. They believe that they will come back to power. And I'm telling you, the Liberian people will never bring them back to power. So let us do what we can do. Let us tell the Liberian people the truth. And we'll tell the Liberian people who they are. The Liberian people know them already. The first thing, let me tell you, it's a win for Mr. Cummings. It's a big boost for Mr. Cummings because the entire country know that they lied on Mr. Cummings. The entire country is aware that they lie on an oath. So don't worry. We need not to attack them. We need not to attack them. They will concentrate on Mr. Cummings. All they will try to do, they will continue to insult Mr. Cummings. They will tell you things. Don't let them go under your skin. They are nothing. The other side, they are nothing. We will bring the records out. The other side, they are nothing. They are the one who damaged our country. And they turn it over to CDC, and CDC use their playbook and make it worse. And they want to come back. No. They were rejected 2017. The Liberian people will reject them along with George Weah, along with CDC. CDC and the other side need not to come back to power anymore. If we want a better Liberia, if we want a better Liberia, we must vote right. Every one of them know that Mr. Cummings got a better plans for Liberia than them. Every one of them know they will not tell you their plans. They will come and either photocopy or copycat. They will try to say the same thing. No, they don't have plan. They don't have nothing. Let them put it down and tell us. Mr. Cummings made it clear since 2017. He said, this is my agenda. Infrastructure. Come with electricity. Come with good drinking water. Roads. And bridges and other stuff. We're talking about infrastructure. Without light, without electricity, we'll do nothing. And we're talking about creating jobs. We know that our people are unemployed. We know almost 80%. How will you create jobs? You need a friendly government. Mr. Cummings telling you this is what we need to do. Agriculture, education. We need to invest. We cannot beg all the time. We can't be begging like Omen beggar all in the street. Every day we're begging foreign country. And he telling us how he going to get the money. He's going to cut waste. All these so-called corrupt politicians who stealing and trying to make corruption legal, everything will be cut off. And he will fight corruption. If the people of Liberia don't want to vote for him, he will fight corruption. That's their business. The other guys, they cannot. Their hands are dirty. They cannot fight corruption. Only one man, and it is clear, only one man they are afraid of. That if this guy take over, this guy will straighten Liberia. People will tell you that Mr. Cummings is arrogant. Mr. Cummings want to show off. Or they will tell you, oh, Mr. Cummings is a nice guy. But the people who are around Mr. Cummings are so arrogant. What about them? And guess where they live? We all live in America. They live in Europe. They live other places. These were the things. Do you think Liberians will forget about the 12 years that Unity Party controlled Liberia for? No. No. The Unity Party, the CDC should be out of state power. If you want a better Liberia, that's not the way to go. They have no plans. There is nothing they got in their coffers. Nothing. We want to see the standard bearer telling us what they will do, how they will create jobs. We want them to tell us. We want them to tell us. Not to just, hold on 1 minute, guys. That's sorry, my lights went off. Let them tell us. It's clear. Mr. Cummings has a plan that he prepared to go with. And this election will not be an easy election. We're not here to tell people to insult other candidates. But what we're trying to say, like for the CDC government, the Liberian people voted for George Weah, whether we like it or not. But what we're saying that they don't have that know-how. They're done. The plan is finished. We cannot trust them. We cannot give them the country again. We cannot give them another 6 years, my people. The 6 years, the last 4 years, what show us what President Buhari have done. What the CDC government? Nothing. Corruption upon corruption upon corruption. People are dying every day. The people are not protected under the law. In their own country, they are not safe. Criminals killing people, ordinary people killing people, police whipping people. The police are not protecting the people. You know what I'm saying? And then we got a government or 12 years, former 12 years party want to come back to power and telling us that they are entitled to it. It's their entitlement. Suffering from entitlement syndrome. That is why the CPP broke up. Because if it's not them, it should be nobody. And then they will try to put the blame on you. Oh, you people are so arrogant. That is why we can't vote for coming. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. The real thing is in Liberia. The people in Liberia will listen. The Liberian people will vote. The Liberian people will stand up this time around. Liberians will not pretend. Anybody go on Facebook. All the people you see talking on Facebook, they are from the other side. They have the option, they have and everything to themselves to get on Facebook and to make comments. So when you see all the foolish little comments, oh, Mr. Cummings' political career done. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them because they are desperate. They are embarrassed. They shame. They cannot make it with Mr. Cummings. We're not in 2017. We are not in 2017. They are not even a ruling party, so they don't have that numbers. Don't let them lie to you. They say they got the masses, the masses. If you take up the M, they got asses. Don't worry about them. Don't worry. Let us continue to tell the Liberian people, to talk to our brothers and sisters, our nieces, our nephews, to tell them the truth. The future of Liberia is in your hands. You're not the one that failed. They're not the one who failed Liberia. UP failed Liberia. The CDC government failed Liberia. They are the one in charge. It is time to try a new person. It is time to try Alexander Cummings. Y'all know him. He been with you guys. He continued to go around the country. And what they're not doing, that's it. So, don't let them go under your skin. Don't let them blow your mind away. Don't worry about them. Don't tell them whether they will take them to court or not. Or not. If Mr. Cummings want to do that, it's on him. But we got a work to do. We have an election to win. We must win that election come 2023. So they can say whatever they want to say, nothing they will ever believe. Whether they throw the case out, whether the Supreme Court say they can run on their own, is good. It's good for all. We are all in the same boat, but what will tell you that you don't need to trust them. We know the role of Ben Ure. We disappointed in the oldest political personality we have in the country. We disappointed in him. And just what CDC wanted him, that's what they did. They put him right in that spot that they can lie. They lie on an oath. They lie concerning the framework document. And they are still lying today. And today, just on one of their show, someone called and say, Mr. Cummings carried a fake document. The people say Mr. Cummings should go home, but they will take him back. They will bring him back anytime. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. When a man getting ready to drown, the man who can swim, every little straw he see, he will hold it. The other side, the UP, they are desperate. The fear and desperation killing them. They think that they're entitled, but trust me, Liberians, we're depending on you. We will do it together. We will disappoint them. We will tell them that it is time for Liberia to change. It is time for the people, not the so-called corrupt politicians. No, My people, don't let them lie to you. They ain't get no plan. That only part of story, huh? They ain't got no plans for you. They ain't got no plans. Every one of them coming back to steal. They piss off because they see joy. We have people stealing. They themselves won't come back to steal. Then there will be no school, no hospital. The same thing. The same thing. Look, if Christmas will be good, you will tell from the eve. The small CPP, they can't handle it. They can't stand competition in CPP. They will stand competition outside. That's what they've been saying. They lied to y'all. They lied to you. Now they're going to form a new coalition. So the coalition they're going to form, maybe that only the corrupt ones will join them. The corrupt ones will join. So guess what? Y'all will see all the corrupt politicians one place. So you will identify them. You will identify the corrupt politicians. Don't worry. You will identify, they will not hide from you. They will not hide. We know them. Let them continue. Let them say what they want to say. But what we need to do, we need to focus. We need to give the message out. We need to put our candidate out there. We need to campaign. We need to go all over the place. Mr. Cummings need to go places. Let them say whatever they want to say. You can take action anytime. For now, we got a case we got a election to run to win. So Liberian people, the people from the ANC, don't rejoice. This is not a time for rejoicing. We are happy, yes, the case is out because we knew it was going to happen. We knew that it was going to happen. So don't make it look like you're surprised. The entire country know that Mr. Cummings was innocent. But that is how our politicians behave. Politics in Liberia is dirty. I just experienced it myself. I have never seen it before like this. I thought politics was one of these things where people were, but for Liberia, it's dirty and it's personal. Let them go ahead. Don't even eat from them. Don't even eat from them. I'm telling you, they can be your own whatsoever. When it finish, after the election finish, it finish. Because I'm telling you right now, some of them might end up poisoning people. All the way you're not contesting. If they can come under your post to insult you, they can do anything to you. It is my right. It is your right. You want to criticize Mr. Cummings, you go ahead. I don't need to curse you. You want to criticize whosoever, we don't need to curse you because they are public figure who got the right to ask questions. But when you put a post, they insult, let them continue to insult because they don't have the issue. They don't know what to say. They got nothing to tell you. All they want to say is that we were there before. All they try to tell you, oh, he was managing director for 4 times, this time, oh, that's not truth. You can't handle the small one, that the big one you will handle. Let me tell you, let me give you a little history. The party before two-week party never came back to power. When two-week party went all the way from 152 or whatsoever, straight into 1980, after 1980, that was the end of two-week party. President Doe came with NDPL. After Doe left, NDPL won 1 or 2 seats. That was the end of NDPL. Then they tried. Ellen Johnson came in. No, Charles Taylor came in. Charles Taylor brought his new party. When Charles Taylor took over, everybody was running to NPP. Finally, NPP were out. NPP won few late seats. NPP ended up joining CDC, the in power. But do you think that NPP will come back to power? No way. Maybe unless they overthrow Joshua tomorrow or something wrong with Joshua. No way. Then, Unity Party, I'm sorry, Unity Party came to power before CDC. Unity Party came to power. They were in power. They were the incumbent. The Liberian people rejected them. The Liberian people said, no, you guys did X, Y, Z. No, 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 no. By then, everybody was into the UP. UP left and they rejected UP. You're not an incumbent. Then you still telling me you got members. You got members. The party is divided into three. They loop one side. The United Party one side for Lofa County. The other side, Action Party on the other side. Then you say you get members. We will see. You won a big victory. One of your biggest victory you just won today. They said that you were not putting up candidate. You still can put up correct 50% in the street. You might not let them scare you, my people. I beg you. I beg you. Some of them still laying into 2017 because 2005 to 2017 it was always UP CDC, UP CDC, UP CDC. But what they fail to realize, they got other parties now. So the UP yesterday, then they see UP today that well, they got big muff. They are liars. They are all young, corrupt guys who want to come back to power. And that's why they will be disappointed. The Liberian people will not go backward. They will either remove George Weah for a new face, but they will not remove CDC because of UP. Let me ask you something. In real life, even if the Liberian people don't want UP and CDC, that UP they should bring. If the Liberian people don't want CDC, that UP they should bring, no. Let the stand-up bearer of UP, let them tell us how they managed to sign that 66 bogus concession. Let them answer it because they were the one in power. Let them tell us what they did, what they left in there. What a job. What the people, the life, the only thing we know that people were stealing and giving other people money and they were enjoying it too. But nothing they can show, nothing. Nothing. They did little bit and they put CDC on it. So they say, oh, ANC and CDC, they say no. ANC, CDC and UP, they are the same. They are the same. Eh? No schools, no hospital. They put the building up, but nothing in there. They're stealing money. And guess what? You got Nathaniel Magé today in the Vatican. He represented who? The government. He represented the president. What is the important? What is so important? What Liberia will benefit on the trip that Magé made? Taxpayer money. Taxpayer money. The chief of staff in the president office representing the president or what? He going on a special mission or just a trip? Took his wife and took a lot of people, different people. I see why they deny him visa to come to America. Oh, don't you know that Magé was denied visa to come to the States? Yep. Magé was denied. Eugene Nangwe, all these guys were denied visa. These are our officials running the government as if they're running some little football club or some little organization. Why are our people suffering? Going to the Vatican. My question here, the president sent him on a mission. The said president sent him to represent him. What we're going to benefit? What are we going to benefit from there? To use taxpayer money to send the chief of staff, to send the chief of staff out of the country. Not even the foreign minister, but the chief of staff, the minister of state, chief of staff, because we say minister of state, people think that the secretary of state is a foreign minister. No, the chief of staff. Using taxpayer money all over the place. Why are our people suffering? Our people suffering. Eh? The University of Liberia went and paved the road, but the people bathroom is stink, dirty, can't flush to fool the people. Eh? Using donors' money, the road funds. That's not your money. Then you're telling us we should re-elect these people. Then when I hear people saying that if you don't put your act to order, George Weah will win. No, George Weah will not win. The Unity Party will not win. None of them going to win. The Liberian people will reject them. The Liberian people have a mission. They will reject President Weah. They will reject the Unity Party. The Unity Party should never come back to power. The Liberian people have two options. They either keep what they have or we replace what we have. Simple. We're not going back. I'm not going to fool nobody here and tell you that we'll go back. We're not going back. We are the one that challenged the president. We are Mr. Cummings. We either move forward or we keep the one that we have. But we will not bring the old one back. We're not taking the country back to see all the hungry lions who need the position more than the candidates. No, no. You can call us arrogant. And let me make it clear again. They will never support you. If you go against George Weah, they will vote for George Weah. They are jealous. They against you. They against Mr. Cummings. They against every one of us. But don't mind that they're not plenty, the handful. We catch them this time around. Let them talk. You know, if you're a champion and you're going into a league, you will say all kinds of things because you're already a champion. Before going in there, you're a defending champion. But when they start whipping you, then you will know. The first thing, UPK even put correct 1,000 people together. You saw all the programs, man. People don't. You saw all the program along with the UP. All of them joined together. They still do nothing. They still can show you. They can convince you. They still can convince you. Then they're so shameful. They say we don't need money for election. And Mr. Cummings, that the other side now, I was listening to them. And you know that song they call 419. Mr. Cummings will go to Liberia. They will eat money. They will eat money. What won't hurting you? What won't hurting the other side when they will eat Mr. Cummings' money? What won't hurting them now? That small thing hurting them. So that small thing hurting them. That hurting them. They can't believe it. They're not No, they're not lie. I hope some people writing book. Yeah, they can lie. Oh, Liberian people, y'all catch them. Oh. Y'all catch them this time around, yeah. Don't let them fool you. They ain't get nothing there. Y'all want to keep George Weah? Y'all can keep George Weah. But George Weah got to go. CDC government got to go. CDC ain't get no plans. The people who want to take us CDC, they ain't get plans. Let them show you the plan first. For us, we already got a plan. We've been talking about it every day. We're then talking about it and we invest in it too. You got one candidate that stay in the country with you. He's not going nowhere. Mr. Cummings will stay right in Liberia. Let me tell you today. When the people talking, oh, Mr. Cummings are the best man. Mr. Cummings, but what? But hey, people can act arrogant that your business. What about you? What about you? They won't bring, let me tell you something. They won't bring our old story. First, they will talk about Congo. They will talk about this. Now they won't say the Mr. Cummings people, they acting like the Liberian can say, Kui. Listen to me, my people. We got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. We need to talk to the people in Liberia. We need to let the people know they are our people. We can do it together. We can do it together. You can't blame them. They are the voters. And let me make you to understand to you in Liberia. You're not the problem. The government is the problem. The government is the one that is in control. You are not the problem. Do not blame yourself. Do not blame nobody for the school and whatsoever, do not blame yourself. Don't blame no opposition. Opposition are collecting taxes. Opposition paying the taxes too. You know what I'm saying? But what we're trying to say, not because we all opposition, that mean we're correct or we're not correct. The guy, the other people, they say the opposition, but they were just there 12 years ago. They were just there 5 years ago. They are the one who mess up the country. They mess it up. They squander the opportunity. Today, the vice president of that past government cannot show you what he did for his county. He can't show you. He can never show you to bring out 2 kids that he paid their school fees when he was vice president. He can never show you. He can never show you what he did in Liberia. He would never show you. Or they would tell you spider story. Spider story. 12 years. 12 years. They had ECOMOG, they had all mail honor there doing it. 12 years. They did nothing. All they did, they collected salaries, collected yellow and brown bags. Nothing. We can never trust them. We can never give them a country. In Liberia, let me tell you today, the lifespan of a chief justice in Liberia is 70 years old. 70. Because they believe after 70 there is a problem. You know what I'm saying? In fact, let me tell you something. You know, UPO just Mr. Weir, because the hat that Mr. Bwaka got right now, the one that controlling the hat, you know, it's owned by Mr. Weir. Mr. Weir was the one who paid that money. Mr. Weir was the one who paid for the surgery, his personal money. President Weir is the one that who paid for that pacemaker. So the old man old George Weir. If he made George Weir verb, George Weir would take a hard bath from him. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he went as a state witness. But he knew that they were disgracing him. He don't know that one. But Liberian people, if you made that man president, just know that you think George Weir government stealing because the plans they bought and coming with. The plans they got and coming with. If you think President Weir boys then and steal, forget it. And you know that young children do, eh? The plans that they coming with will not be easy. Bernard Ure coming to revenge, to get back his maritime. They coming back. They're not joking. They don't have a place. You know, corrupt people don't have a place in a decent place. Because they are so corrupt, so they are afraid to work with Mr. Commis. They are so corrupt. They are afraid. They have tried everything. They say Mr. Commis cheap. They say Mr. Commis cheap. They try everything. They can't make it. They can't make it. They stay saying that Mr. Commis, that new man, the new thing, and they say they will eat money. You think we know the UP people? You will not eat that money. You will not eat it. We will use that money to campaign. We will go from door to door and we will tell the people about you. We will tell the people how you stole from our government. Now you won't come back to power because you're jealous over President. We are now finished stealing too. President, we are stole more than you. So you won't use the old man as a springboard. It's not working. 2023 is the year to get rid of corrupt politicians. Yeah? 2023 is the year to get rid of corrupt politicians. Yeah. So you can cost Mr. Commis. You can say whatever you want to say that your business. You can keep your masses. In fact, the aim down there against your bunch of asses. You know when you take out the aim from the masses, the asses. I'm telling you. So You can do whatsoever. We will continue to tell our brothers and sisters, Liberia for us, Liberia for every Liberians. But we cannot allow them to treat us as if we nobody. Bring them to power and they forget. They are afraid of Mr. Cummings, let me tell you. Every one of them can stand Mr. Cummings. But at the same time, they tell you how Mr. Cummings good. Oh. They tell you how Mr. Cummings achieved this. My people, your team, Mr. Cummings, will take $100,000 bribe, $2 million bribe from government. His name, the man name. My people, the only Liberian that we know or politician, white man, got him and put him on the bowl, on a different bowl. White men working for him too. You know why they were paying $4 million, $7 million a year? You know for what? That because of his brain. He was one of the panelists at the World Economic Forum. We should be proud. We should be happy that yes, your thing Ellen Johnson got contact. Cummings got more contact than any Liberian politician. Cummings has more. He got it in the but he got more contact. The people trust him. But they will tell us, say, we're not supposed to say it. We're talking about getting good schools. We're talking about real electricity. We're not talking about power and solar panel light. We're talking about creating jobs for our people. Eh? All of them say they have contact. Why they can't bring it? Why they can't bring it? Liberians, we got a lot of work to do. This election will not be a small election. It is not an easy election. Nobody need to insult President Weah, but we will tell them how bad his government is. That's all. That's all. Why the UP people will be concentrating on us. UP and UP and CDC will be concentrating on us, on Mr. Cummings. They know. They know. Let them talk. Let us just do what we need to do. The time will take, if you on your show, you can take 5 minutes, 10 minutes and get rid of them and continue your topic. Don't ever anything they want to say. You can be in your dream. Mr. Cummings will have election in your dream. He will win. He can win Maryland. He will never be president. He will never be this. They're more than our Holy Bible. They can say nothing. We're not saying that. I'm not saying that Mr. Bwaka would never. I say that we shouldn't bring them to power. We should not bring them to power. That's all. Okay, guys, I'm not going to take too long. Let me just go over the comments and I'll be done for the day. Yep, lot of work, lot of work, lot of work. Yep. Share this video. The fact is that we're not yet to Charles Maguire. He said that's the plan of JB. Okay, let me Charles Maguire. I know you don't know anything about JB. I don't know who you call JB. Who is JB? I don't know. But you don't know the plans. The plans of JB is ARTS, arts, agriculture, road, tourism, and sanitation. You supporting somebody you don't know the plan, shame on you. Shame on you. You supporting a man you don't know his plan. He got agriculture finished. He got roads. He got tourism and sanitation. Nothing about education. Nothing about electricity. Nothing about that's a whole. That's an organization. We kill you during the election. You're just watching. you know, they will say whatever they want to say. They will say anything that they want to. They say the people who make such a statement, it make no sense. That would never happen. It would never ever never belong to God. But I would say never ever happen. Thank you. Yeah, it would never happen. Fear. They will say all kinds of things. This is the time we need to downplay them. Let me tell you something. This election is between Mr. Cummings and George Weah. Let me tell you how you hurt your opponent. They will cause. They want you to say something to them. Just compare the records. You know when you're on the football field, you're playing football, and you tell the man, say, give me the ball. But somebody behind you, you know that there's a player, your opponent behind you. You tell the man, say, give me the ball. Nobody behind me, man. As far as concerned, UP will go nowhere in the election, and I said until they can go. But as far as concerned, they will not go nowhere. They will not. Let them continue with their plan A, plan B, plan C. That's their business. That's their business. The Liberian people know them already, man. The Liberian people know them already. Uh, how do you define best choice? The man had never been president before. He was vice president. He showed nothing. How can he be the best? How can he be the best choice? He advised his boss, the government he worked for. He can't even take responsibility of the good. And how you take the bad? Eh? Yeah, don't eat from them until after the election. Don't trust them. Do not trust any one of them from that party. Do not. The election is on. This election is on. Bunch of liars looking for government jobs. That's all. I'm telling you. I still asking myself the question: what Miguel doing there? What Miguel doing in the Vatican? Went to Italy, going to Europe. The president sent him to do what? That's I don't know. Using taxpayer money. Eh? Let them go ahead. Rosie, what's up, man? That is the right thing there. You know, I can't understand people. Oh, they act arrogant. Mr. Cummings can do this. And the people that behind Mr. Cummings, they are very arrogant. Mr. Cummings like to show he had to deal with. That what talking there. Because he's disciplined. Because he's disciplined. It only tells us that nobody from the CPP, the UP government can discipline anybody. The same old thing, my people. The same old thing. We can do it. Yeah, we can do it. Monka J, we can. I try to understand the statement, but I don't know what you mean. If you can rephrase it, it will be better. Yep. None. Why will you wish for election is close? Election will be close. You know, when I don't know why people wish for certain things, whether we like it or not, we'll reach to 23 to 23, man. Don't worry. Don't worry, we'll reach to 2023. Yes, all the way from Ganta. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Lawrence. Yep, you got a checkbook in your pocket. You're right. Yo. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm working tomorrow and I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. But I'll come on maybe tomorrow morning on my way to work. I will just say something just to remind our people. Please do not attack them. Stick on the topic. Keep focus. Sell Mr. Cummings. Tell the people what Mr. Cummings will do different from the other side. The other side don't have it. We already know what CDC government is doing. We've seen all the corruption. We've seen all the things that are happening. The guys who were there for 12 years, we got the records. Liberians got nothing to lose right now. They can either keep George Weah or we can replace George Weah with a better president, but not the UP. Not the UP. Because this was going to happen. There's the same. Everything is about we are. Everything going to be about JB, because he said he's the only man. He's the only man can do the work. Mr. Cummings never said he's the only man. Mr. Cummings said we can do it together. Togetherness, we can do it. Mr. Cummings went through everything just to keep the CPP together for us to do it together. But they decided. So those of you who said that Mr. Cummings made a wrong choice, I believe it. I accept it. We thought they could change, but since they ain't changed, let us change for our future, for our young children. Let us make the difference. So those of you who regretted, who say you are disappointed why Mr. Cummings joined the CPP, this is the day that you were talking about. We will not be ashamed to say no, but it will not discourage us. We will continue. It happened at a good time. There is nothing is ever late. Nothing is ever late. We've been doing the groundwork. They say in times of peace, prepare for war. In times of war, prepare for peace. Mr. Cummings have been traveling around the country. We will come up, Mr. Cummings will come up along with his people if we're going to keep the CPP name or we're going to do something else. But my people, we believe in you. Mr. Cummings believe in the people of Liberia. Mr. Cummings believe because Mr. Cummings only got one vote. I got one vote. You one vote. You one vote. If we put it together, we can win. So Mr. Cummings depending on you. Some of them on the other side, what surprised me, I listened to one of their show. Yeah, and Mr. Cummings was he arrogant. Instead of he coming to us, the people there in Atlanta, that the people in America will vote for him. And they said I'm talking in America. The people who talk you, they in America for the other side. They in America. Oh, yes, the people will vote for him in America and this and that. Let me give you a nice message for you to sleep today. You are Christian. Nobody knew David. Nobody. When Samuel, when they went there to anoint David, they went to the house of Jesse. David was not there. Nobody knew David. Up to the time David killed Goliath, nobody knew David. When Mother Douglas said that somebody will come from the southeast, it was a late boy that time. We thought it was Samuel Doe because Samuel Doe from the southeast. But he came with blood in his hands. Then we thought it was Joshua because Joshua from the southeast. But then the entire episode is like Saul and David. The people of Israel wanted Saul. Saul was not God's choice. But because the people wanted him, God gave them, say, well, that's your choice. Go ahead. And that arrogance and other stuff, that selfishness and everything started to come into Saul. I think Saul ended up killing himself. He wanted to even get rid of David. He started to do all kinds of things. Nobody know David. Don't you know up to present, people are still singing the song that nobody know Mr. Cummings? I never heard like people like Brempo telling Mr. Cassette that nobody know Cassette, he just coming. Mandela Cooper, we never told Mandela Cooper she just coming. Only one man, he just coming because they're afraid of him. They telling like Brempo that man just coming, but they lie. It lit. It's over. They will never use it. They will talk it, but they will never use it. Mr. Cummings is not going to be dashing money, or let me make you to understand. If you don't want to vote for Mr. Cummings, it's up to you. If you don't want to vote for your future, it's up to you. Mr. Cummings will not dash money up to you to go vote. The future of Liberia, for Liberia to change, is right in your hands. That's you. You the one can make that difference. not the leader. That is the only right and power you have. Take your anger to the voting booth, vote, especially the young ones. They got almost a million young voters, first time voters in Liberia. Register and vote. Don't let it, don't overlook anything. That's your future. That is your future. Please do not overlook anything. Do not. Hmm. So I want to say thank you very much. Do what you can do. Gerald, I was looking for you to send you the Lana open unless you want to show your face. Okay, Gerald, I'm sorry you just came late. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I am very sorry. I would love to bring you on. Linda, you are 100% right. You are 100% right, man. We do that all the time. You know, other country will be so happy to see their people going home. Mr. Cummings, it's sad sometimes when we don't know about people. People think that Mr. Cummings came to America like other people who never went back home. This man had been in and out, or been a quiet guy, working, trying to put his family together to do everything. Yeah. But people think Mr. Cummings that the one who came to America in 1974 and never went back to Liberia. But you're right. The rejected stone is always the cornerstone. Yeah. So it is clear. Cummings will be the next president. Cummings will be the next president. We need to pray. And praying, going to the voting booth, but we just need to pray for peaceful election. Yeah, we need a peaceful election. But this election is spiritual. It's not the entire thing happening in Liberia is spiritual. We got a serious problem. So, guys, have a good night. I love you all. God bless you. Share the video. Because of you, I come out all the time. I don't want you to be worried about how many person watching us live. Don't worry about it. I share it to all the contacts and you share it. Everybody share it. The message is resonating. You saw somebody watching me from Ganta City, eh? Okay. Every day we get new 2, 3 person watching. And my guest, Shadow Robert, always sharing this show. And someone called me from Liberia. One guy, the guy said, "Oh, Shadow always sending your show to me." And so don't don't let it sweat. Don't let it bother you. We're not going to do things that we can't do. You know, we're not going to force it down the throat. We're not going to do whatsoever. But we'll continue to give the message. My little time I have, I will share with you. Your little time you have, you share. We share together, and we do what we're supposed to do. Any message you get out there. But everything I said, it came to pass. Just yesterday, I was talking. I said they got two options, and we told them if you think you're going to delay the case, you might end up going 2025. Yeah. And you know what funny today? Before I leave, you know what funny? Mo Ali was on the stand. This was the first time that Serena Cephas never objected to anything. While Mo Ali was on the stand, could not even answer the question concerning the 5 documents. Serena Cephas was outside already dropping the case. While Mo Ali was on the stand. And they dropped the case and they don't want Mr. Cummings to sue them at all, to go after them for anything. So they can't find no evidence. But it only tells you that our people can lie. Mr. Barker lied on an oath. He signed 5 documents. It's a shame. It's a shame. Okay, guys, you're bye for now.